Good morning, world. So things are definitely a lot better than they were last time I was making a video. And so as you can see, I'm not in my car, so that's usually a pretty good sign that it's a little bit different. But what I'm gonna go ahead and do is, so you don't have to stare at my ugly mug, I'll go ahead and just put the camera, or the phone I guess, so you can just enjoy the view while I ramble on. Kind of a cool place right here. It's really interesting because some of these land masses are pretty far away. It'd be interesting to see what part you can really see and what part you should only be able to see. But for those that don't understand that, it is what it is. Anyways, things are going good, man. I mean, they're going like almost too good where it's just kind of hard to believe, when God works in your life and he helps you out. Just sometimes it's just kind of like an awe. It's like, really, like the creator of the universe cares that much about me that he's, gonna spend the time to make sure that everything's going really well and that things are going according to his will. It's just an overwhelming feeling. It's just hard to accept. I guess maybe because we all feel guilty, like we're not worthy. So how could that be possible that he'd care that much? We're just not worthy. There's no way. Deep down we feel like that. I feel like that guilt or that sin, that separation that we have. But it's all right. Things are going good for me, man. I just, I couldn't be in a better place. I couldn't be around better people. And it's exciting. I guess I don't know, maybe, I don't know why I'm kind of like, reserved right now. I guess it's like like really taking in the full account of everything. I can't think of the word, like, I guess like the weight of the situation is finally rested itself on my shoulders. And so it's like just trying to get used to that weight, or maybe some weight's been lifted off. Either way, you have to like kind of get accustomed to it. It just takes a little bit for your body to either, strengthen itself or let off some stress in places. So I think that's it. Also, the transition from one type of life to another is also pretty difficult. Can be bumpy. It's like the transition from being sober to being on one. It's, for me at least, it's always bumpy. So I feel like I've conquered one of my demons, but obviously it's really prideful to say that. Last time I tried to say that, when I was like, oh, I think I had this under control. I mean, I did, and I got through some of it, most of it, but there's always, not always, but there's usually another demon to fight just around the corner. It's just like this endless battle of being tried and tested and by different entities and seeing the outcome. I think too, for a lot of them, it's, a lot of the demons or angels or entities or, archons, whatever you want to call that, seem to, either follow us around or have some kind of interest in us. They're quite invested a lot of time. If that is the reality of life, they would invest quite a bit of time. And so they would, want to see want to see the outcome. They'd be interested in the outcome. And so they seem to try us and just to see. I think dreams are a big part of that too, because, whatever entities you want to call them, they seem to have a lot of power in our dreams. And it seems to be a lot of the places where they trial and test us. It's like a simulation that they run. I've been kind of thinking about it, and, dreams are really interesting because the reality of time in dreams is just so crazy, because time can either speed up or slow down. Obviously we've all had experience where you go to sleep and you wake up instantly, but some people experience this more than others is when you dream and go to sleep for like 10 minutes, but then you dream and you have like an hour long or 2 hour long dream. That seems to be kind of common for a lot of, or that seems to be common enough where some people can relate to that. But so if you go to sleep for 10 minutes and you have a 2 hour long dream, does that add like 2 hour, an hour and 50 minutes on your life? Are you an hour and 50 minutes older? Because although only 10 minutes have passed, an hour and 50 minutes have passed in your mind. So you've been thinking, you've been thinking for an hour and 50 minutes. You've been alive. As much as you can say that something's alive, it has, its own thought, sentient being, for an hour and 50 minutes or 2 hours, but so that's an hour and 50 minutes you add on your life. And I don't know why nobody ever talks about this, because it just seems like, to me, it's just like so obvious, but it's never even been like documented or even talked about. At least that's what I understand. And so for me, I guess it's because, I've had dreams where they were months long, overnight. So much so where I thought I knew I was dreaming. I was trying to wake up and I couldn't wake up. And eventually I came to the conclusion that I got stuck in the computer or something, because I couldn't wake up, so I couldn't be dreaming. But I knew this wasn't real. And so did that add 29 days to my life? I do believe so. A lot of times when I talk to people and I start rambling on or try to throw down some wisdom or analogy or something, I feel like I communicate differently or talk differently than most people. And, if I'm correct, and the entity's real age is depending on its wake, its time thinking and processing ideas, or running through ideas, then, and when you dream, if you dream for a longer time, then whatever time longer than you dream than what was passing in this world should be added to your age. So I feel like I'm about 300 years old, to be honest. About 10 to 1 ratio. A lot of people sometimes some people will say, this has only happened a few times, I guess, but they'll look into your eyes and they'll say, man, you have like an old soul, or you must have had lots of lives before. And it's not the lives before, it's not the old soul, or it is the old soul. It's the lives and the dreams that you have. When I was 18, I felt like I was, I would tell her, I felt like I was 100 years old already. Not physically, but mentally, I feel like I've been alive forever. And, everybody always says, life's so short, life's so short. I'm like, man, life is so long. It's just endless. And that's because I feel like I've been alive for 300 freaking years already. As far as my thought process goes, as far as if you count the times and dreams. So I guess it's kind of hard to relate to anybody. But I guess if I could relate to somebody, then they would be the same as me. And if they were the same as me, then they would be equal with me, and there can only be one leader. So there's like so lonely, heavy is the head that wears the crown, or lonely at the top. But that's okay. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. All I need is the Lord. He's the only company I need. And the thing is, too, is if you're alone or you're on your top or you don't have anybody that can relate to you, you don't really have anybody that can really influence you either. Influence can bring people down so easy because it gives them like an excuse. Whatever the other person tells you, you're like, oh, see, that person agrees, and so it gives you this rationale. But obviously, that other person doesn't know the whole scenario because they can't, no matter how close they are to you. only you really truly know the whole scenario and how you truly feel about things. Obviously, it's always good to have an outside perspective. It's needed, but it can be very dangerous, especially to the easily influenced. That's why the leader is so important, man. It's like everything to make sure that they treat everybody better than they treat themselves, and that they don't do things that they don't tell others to do things that they want to do themselves. And the thing is, for me, is like I feel like I'm on borrowed time. I feel so damn old. I feel like I should have died a long time ago. So I don't fear death at all, and so I don't mind being in the front line. I want to be in the front, even as a general, man. I want to be out in the front. I don't agree with Caesar's life. I don't really truly know what happened, but one of the things that made him a great leader, is that he would be out in the front with his troops. He would, because he knew what he was. Nobody can tell him otherwise. Just something he knew. And I feel like it just has to be tested, because you have to be able to have faith in yourself. You got to be able to be strong. As a general, you can't have doubt. Not when everybody's relying on you not to have doubt. You have to show them that. So we'll see. We'll see what the Lord's plan is. We'll see what He wants me to do. Man plans, God laughs. But things are going really good for me. Everything's just kind of falling into place. Be starting to get my hours in the sky pretty soon. It's just surreal. Where I was 2 days ago and where I am now. And I do miss my son already. I guess maybe some of it's just like I just wish he was here with me. I wish he could come along with me. I wish his mom could come too. And they don't want to be in the game anymore. They'll have to watch from the sidelines. Because if the time comes and their faith was to be tested in me, obviously they would have failed. When it counted, when others people's lives and well-being and stuff were at stake, their faith in me would have fallen. And then when you start a movement, the people that are with the leader, if they start falling apart, everybody starts falling apart. If they started to doubt me, everybody would doubt me. So, here I am, and they're just not here. They don't want to be here. Well, I'm sure if they understood the situation, they'd want to be here, but they didn't want nothing to do with me. Couldn't have been more obvious, and they couldn't have said it any more plainly, literally. I told them, it's like, I know what's going to happen. I already know. It's like, I just wish you guys can understand, like, please just listen to me. Like, I'm trying to show you, and like, I showed something's happened. Like, it's like watching your own death, or knowing when you're going to die, and you can't do anything about it. Like, you can see it, but you can't do anything. Like, you can watch it, and you're like, this is what's going to happen. I've seen it, but there's nothing you can do. So you just have to watch it. You just have to, like, witness it unfold, and you have to die. And awaken something new and better. God, I've died so many times in my dreams, man. Maybe that's another reason I don't fear death. I feel like I've already died 100 times, at least. I've faced death already so many times. And even in this world, I've got faced death so many times. Like, in the dream world, I've died, literally, gone through it all. In this world, though, I face it, come up to the edge, and I don't fear it, man, at all. I long for it. To be set free from this fucking prison. This flesh. Weak. Vulnerable. Easily manipulated. I just want to be free. Just want to go. But I live for the Lord, not what I want. And also too, I'm just so happy to be here. I just hope the Lord is proud of what I was able to show in these last, I'd say 6 years or so. When my grandpa died, he left me like $100,000. When I first got that money, it turned horrible. Not first, but it just turned me evil. I don't know if it was just it was the things that I did with the money, the sinful things that I did with the money, pulled me away from God. And for about 5 years, I got to a point where I just was like trying to get in the military because I was like, well, if I stay here, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to go to hell for sure. If I go to the military, then I'll leave here and I can start to do something different and maybe I'll go to hell. I still might go because I don't know what's going to happen in the military. It might be a horrible thing to do, but if I stay here for sure. So I ended up trying to get in the military and it didn't work out, but the process of trying to get into it was able to change my life enough where I was able to start in a different direction. And ever since then, I feel like I've done really good. I, of course, had to, be broken and reshaped a couple times since then. But I think that the final product or the product that I am now is going to be beneficial to the Lord. I can be of use. I will be of use. All right, guys, thanks for listening to me ramble on. And here we go. God bless and happy truth seeking.